Sarah in Fenton. And Sarah is writing in saying, the seller made a change to our purchase agreement. At closing, we are now being charged for a road assessment on the property that was issued 6 months prior to the sale. I did not agree to this, and I did not initial the change. What do I do? From Sarah in Fenton.
Well, I mean, if it can be shown that the change is not, in real estate, everything has to be in writing. Remember, we talked about that. And nothing more, it's very important that if you make a modification or a change or a delineation to a term in a provision that's important to the outcome of a transaction, it has to be initialed by both parties. If it's not initialed by both parties, it has not been changed. So if she is saying that she never initialed a change, that's material. I mean, paying for a road assessment prior to the closing, usually a seller is responsible for all those assessments that occur before the closing, right? Anything afterwards is an obligation to the buyer. Okay, so somebody made that change. The fact that that's where you get into, the title company gets the document. They're filling out, we talked about this in a previous episode, they're filling out the closing statement. That's where a title clerk, an escrow officer, a title processor goes, I don't know where to put this. They scratch their chin and they go, I have no idea. Should we be putting this as a buyer obligation or a seller obligation? And they stop and they pick up the phone and they call both, the realtor, or they call the mortgage company and say, hey, who's paying for this? Because we have a change, but it's not been initialed by both parties. So that it prevents the people from going to the closing. This is where you have to do it's called due diligence. Why attorneys, this is why attorneys like myself want a closing package from a mortgage company or from from the title company 2 to 3 days before the closing. Because these are the things that we find. Sometimes it can cost the client thousands of dollars and they don't know. I'm not even calling it, I was about to say young home buyers, but it's not about young home buyers. People who've never purchased a home of all age ranges, they don't know. They don't know what they should be doing. So they're excited about the home. They don't want to kill the deal. This is their dream. This is their wish. They've gone through so much. And then you have a change like that somebody's trying to take advantage of one of the parties on. It's not right. But then, the buyer there normally will just go, oh, okay, because they're pushed and they're intimidated by all the other parties in the closing room, such as the realtors. No disrespect to good professional realtors, but there's a lot of pressure. Realtors want their commission and they do push. Okay. And mortgage loan officers want that transaction closed, and most importantly, the seller does. So now you have a buyer who's got 3 to 4 different parties who all are pressuring them to close. That's why you need good professionals well in advance to look at this stuff. Title processors who prepare the closing agent, they failed this lady. Okay, because if she's saying she's at the closing, somebody should have said that's not done right. And now this person has a mortgage officer who's going, hey, the loan's about to expire. You're going to have to pay for a lot. Blah, blah, blah. If you don't take it now, you're going to lose your loan. So people get stuck. That lady, I forgot her name. Sarah from Fenton, that I knew. It's unfortunate, but if that's not initial, don't close it. Call an attorney. That's when we get involved. Okay. That's a great question, Sarah. I'm really sorry. Yeah.